Hello, this is a tutorial video for the new features introduced in Viz Multichannel 2.9. First and foremost, installing MCP 2.9 requires .NET Framework 4.51 installed on your machine. Now let's begin with the UI layout. Multichannel 2.9 has been rebranded with a new Carbon theme. The tab navigation panel and the settings dialog have been rebranded as well. The new features have been introduced into 6 components. They are Settings, Promo Server, Actions, As Run Log Component, Page Editor, and Rules. Now let's start with the new Settings feature. There are 2 new options introduced in Multichannel 2.9. The first one is an option under Miscellaneous Settings called Expand Running Primary Element. With this option checked, it will expand the currently playing primary event. At first, we'll uncheck this option. Now, when we direct take on a group, it will not expand this running element. Note that this option will not function unless the playlist is active. But now, if we check this option, direct take on a primary event, it will expand the running element. The second one is an option under Update Settings called Allow Updates of Already Played Secondary Events. The main purpose of this setting is that if this option is unchecked, it will not update those secondary events that have already been played. However, if checked, it will update all the secondary events. So first, let's see with this option unchecked. Here we have the running playlist. Since these elements have already been played, let's change the description of the played secondary events. When we update the playlist, these playlist events are not updated while the others are. So now, if we check this option and update the playlist again, all the secondary events, including already played events, are updated. For global settings, for As Run Log Component, we have introduced a new UI layout and implemented a custom format option. This option allows users to display log messages as custom string instead of JSON format. The attributes here show content that users can add to the log message. These attributes can be dragged here within this space, and we can also add our own custom text. Let's see an example. If we want to show the date time of the command executed, just drag timestamp, add some custom text like running, and add the command that was executed on the element. Here it shows the sample of how the log message will be generated. Now, when we direct take on an element in log, it will be shown as the format we want. Let's look into another example here. Let's change the custom log format. Now, when we direct take on an element in log, it will be shown as the format we've written. Next, we have Promo Server. In Multichannel 2.9, we have completely removed the non-Promo Server workflow and now only use Promo Server for page content filling. Also, any attribute listed for tab field that uses secondary prefix can be resolved by Promo Server. In order to achieve this, mapping settings should have some secondary attributes defined. Let's open the page content filling dialog and check self. It will now list build in groups and secondary alias and all the possible attributes, including the secondary prefixed attributes defined in mapping settings. However, if self is unchecked, then it will show attributes other than the secondary prefixed ones. So now, if we choose any secondary attributes, then Promo Server can resolve it. In addition, Promo Server now enables users to set a cache time. Setting of a cache time means that the Promo Server will not update the elements until the time specified has passed. In order to set the cache time, go to the promoserver.config file and set your desired time in seconds. The default value for cache time is 5 seconds, so let's change the value to 20 seconds and restart Promo Server in Services. Here we have a page that takes the description of primary event. So now when we try to change the description value and refresh the playlist, it will not update the value and it will not change for the next 20 seconds. After the time has elapsed, refreshing will update the value. Now let's talk about new features in Actions Pool. A new context menu called Generate On-Off Actions has been added. This menu option is available only for ticker carousel actions, and using this will generate 2 new actions. For example, its respective on and off actions. Next is Page Editor. A new button called Clear Mapping has been added. When this button is clicked, it will remove any page content filling or database mapping for the page. We must then click Save to actually have the page saved as before. Last but not least, we have the Rules component. The Rules section used to only allow us to define a starting and end point for a page, but now it allows us to set duration dynamically for a page but not an action. Let us set the duration for 1 minute. And when we import or update the playlist, it allows pages to have the duration defined in rules. If no duration is defined in rules, then it will use the duration of the original page. If there are any others defined, it will fall back to the default template if it has been defined. Thank you for listening.